Hey guys, this is Reggie Pegues from the NYC. I just wanted to reach out to you this morning and I wanted to just share some thoughts. And the title of this particular live is I Left Before They Can Throw Me Out. Yeah, I left before they could throw me out. So you say, Reggie, what are you talking about? As all of us have to go through, we understand that we have to create a income. So the majority of us, if not all of us, we all go to a job. But we go to this workplace with an attitude and a spirit that we're unhappy, we're unsatisfied. And I want you to know that, hey, Mike, how you doing? Nice for joining. We go to a workplace that we really don't want to go to, particularly if you're going someplace where you don't feel passionate about. Good morning, Anna Sanchez, good morning. But when we go to a workplace that hey, one of my best friends, Arrington, good morning, how you doing? When we go to the workplace and we're not passionate about that, if we're just working for a paycheck, many of us fail to realize we're going to a job and doing things that are killing us internally, which is actually killing our body because our mental state is not good, our spiritual state is not good, and we're just generally not happy. And we're not happy with the cycle. We're not happy with the cycle of I go to work to earn a paycheck to pay bills. So I left before they could throw me out. I saw that the cycle that I was in was never going to help me to really achieve the things that I deserved. I deserve to be happy in life. You deserve to be happy in life. You deserve to be able to live out your dreams. You deserve to be able to travel like you want, spend time with your family, your loved ones, your children. You should be able to contribute to society the way that you choose. You should be able to have options. So I want to share with you the four things that money does. The first thing that money does is money gives you control over your life. It gives you control over your life. You say, well, how does it give me control over your life? Over my life? It gives you the ability to make choices and decisions and not be controlled by your circumstances. Meaning, I had situations, I had times where my daughter my daughter may have had a event or a performance, and I had to make a decision. Was I going to lie to my employer so I can attend her event, or was I going to disappoint her because of a job? So the first thing that money is supposed to do, it just helps you to give you more control over your life. The second thing that money is supposed to do is that it gives you options, like we just were discussing. Having money and creating money gives you options. It gives you options to make choices to do what it is that you would like to do, as opposed to being told what to do, when not to do it. One of the biggest things that I hated about my job was, it's not that I can't follow instructions. It's not that I cannot be a good follower, because to be a great leader, you must be a good follower. But I couldn't stand when they told me when I could take lunch, when I could have a break, when I could be sick, when I could go on vacation, when I could spend time with my daughter, when I couldn't. I just didn't like having that experience in my life. So the second thing that money does for us, it gives us options. The third thing that money does for us, it gives us the ability to contribute. Contribute in a way that makes us happy and also is pleasing to God. For example, we had the situation in Houston. We had the people in Florida. We had the earthquake in Mexico. You should be able to give freely. You should be able to give freely from your heart and to bless people. You should have that freedom to do that. That's what money does for us. And lastly, what money does for us, it buys us time. So you say, Reggie, what it means it buys us time. Well, because of the work that I've put in, because of building my business, and while I was working, there's a saying I love to quote from Jim Rohn, which is, "I worked full time on my job, but I worked part time on my fortune." Now, as I was building my business, I had to. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Glad that you could join. As I was building my businesses, I was also putting a lot. Hey, Sam Cooper, how you doing? Nice for you to join. I was putting a lot of work into personal development, because here's the thing. A lot of us may want to go into opportunities and may want to join businesses, but we don't prepare ourselves. We don't take the time to put in the preparation that's needed for us to be successful. Because let's state the plain truth. Good morning, Anthony. Good to see you. Let's state the plain truth. We can want a thing, but we may not be prepared for it. Can I get some thumbs or some likes on that? If this is resonating with somebody, if this is giving some value. A lot of times we want some things and we're not prepared for it. So you have to spend some time in preparation. That's why the seasons are distinctly different from each other, and none of those, you cannot have two seasons at the same time. You cannot have summer and winter. You cannot have fall and spring at the same time. You have to spend time in personal and self-development. That's the key. Because if you were who you were supposed to be, you would be where you're supposed to be. So the key to self-development and achieving the things that you would like to have in your space is crafting the kind of life that you would like to have through personal and self-development. You have to do that. There's the one thing that I had to learn in my experience is there is no shortcuts. I wish there were. I wish I could tell you that there's shortcuts. I wish I could share with you and say that, there's an easy route. But nothing really worthwhile comes easy. You're going to have to invest the time. And I have to say that, I like I said, the title of the video, I had to get out. I had to get out of that working situation before I got thrown out. Because first of all, that pulling inside of me, what God had created in me, the pulling inside of me, it just drove me. It kept driving me because I was not meant and designed and created to work a job. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who has a job, because we all need to create income. I'm just saying you're going to have to get out before they throw you out. Because, see, we're dealing in a strange time, whether or not you know it or not. It's almost like the Matrix. I always use that as a reference. They offer you the blue pill or the red pill. You take the red pill, you go there, you see how far the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill and you just continue living the way that you live in. But they keep telling you about jobs. There's no such thing as job security anymore. So anybody who's under the sound of my voice or catches this rebroadcast, I want you to understand there is no such thing as job security. You have to develop something else. You got to create something else that's going to create another stream of income for you. You have to. The time of working 40 years on a job and retiring and getting that gold watch no longer exists. It no longer exists. I'm sorry to say that. So I had to get out before they threw me out. But I had to develop a plan. I had to change who I was and start becoming the person I wanted to be to achieve the goals I wanted to have. And we all have to do that. We all must do that. We got to change. So I'm imploring you, you gotta, get out before they throw you out. I'm going to share a story with you guys. My very first wife, Anthony's saying a job should be a launching platform. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely. It should be a springboard into what you're going to do next. Doing something that you're passionate about, something that makes a contribution, but most importantly and first and foremost, something that potentially will create generational wealth for you and your family, because the word says that a man should create an inheritance for his children's children's children. So you got to build something. You got to create something. And God has given each and every one of us the tools, the ability, the wherewithal. Everything you need is in you. You just have to take action. Don't worry about the how. If you take the step and start taking action, the how will become evident. It will show. It will come about. We worry too much about the perfect timing, the perfect situation, the perfect scenario, and we end up experiencing what's called analysis paralysis. I know I'm sweating like a dog right now because I just finished working out. So you know how your metabolism doesn't shut off, you know. But we experience what's called analysis paralysis. And through that, we end up not taking and not making decisions. So you got to get out before they throw you out. So the story I was going to share with you is this. My first wife, when I was married, to my childhood sweetheart, the mother of my two oldest sons, I'll never forget one day. She was one of those type people that would go to work, come hella high water, sick. She suffered from bronchitis. She would, I'm talking about sick. I'm talking about literally sick. And I would, ask her to, she would not go seek medical attention, but she would go to that job religiously. She would go to that job unceasingly. She put that job before her personal health. I would almost offer to say she put that job before her family because of her conditioning. She was like, I have to go get this paycheck. And it's not that we weren't doing well, because I was in real estate, we were making money, and we were going, she was just going to this job day in and day out. She turned, she was working in the banking industry. She turned that bank around. She helped put policies in. She helped to train people. She helped to bring up the rating of that bank. So one day, I'm preparing to go to work, and I hear the front door. So, I'm like, okay, ain't nobody supposed to be coming through my front door at this particular time. Who is that? So I go, I had a 2-story house. I go downstairs, and it's her. And I looked at her, and she had this strange look on her face. She was like catatonic, if you understand what catatonic means. She was like in a daze. And she comes into the house. She still has her jacket on. She still has her pocketbook on. And, hey, Miss Smith, how you doing? Glad to see you. She still had her coat on. She still had her bag on her shoulder. And she just started straightening things up in the house. So I spoke to her. I said, hey, what's going on? And she just kept, fiddling around the house, fixing things and stuff. So when I finally got her attention and sat her down on the couch, I said, hey, what's the matter? Why are you home? And she looked at me with a straight face and she said, they fired me. Now, this was a major corporation, major bank. She poured her heart into that bank. She helped that bank. She helped bring up the rating. She actually saved the bank money through a robbery once, where somebody stuck a shotgun to her face and they fired her. So now this woman is sitting in our living room in shock. I didn't know what to do, be quite honest. The look on her face tore me to my very core. But you know what I did? I made a promise, not only to her, but to myself, that no one ever in my family again will ever experience that. And I will never see that look on someone that I love ever again. Ever. So I had to come up with a plan. I had to come up with something. I had to think out the box. Now you got to understand, many of us come out of a situation where thinking for ourselves, creating something, it's not the conversation that's going on in our homes. We're not being inspired to create. We're not being inspired to take chances. We're conditioned to be taught to play it safe. Don't rock the boat. Go to school. Get good grades so you can make somebody else's dream come to pass. That's not the times that we're living in now, right now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're under the sound of my voice, I'm saying to you, get out before they throw you out. How do you do that? Lastly, you do that by finding your purpose. Find out you were created. God did not create you by accident. You were created for a purpose. Like Miss Smith. Miss Smith, who's on here, is a phenomenal dance instructor. I can't tell you. She worked with my daughter over the last several years. And not only did she teach her to dance, but she poured into her in such a way that has enhanced her personal character. And I can never thank her enough for what she did, because we went through a difficult time. Miss Smith came into my daughter's life at this almost the very same time when my daughter lost her biological mother. So keeping her active, pouring into her, the program that she was about, Sheltering Arms with Miss Chanel and Miss Y and all the instructors, that program helped me as a parent through a very difficult time. Miss Smith has a desire to create her own dance school, which I fully support. And will do anything to help her in assisting that, even through these videos. But I want you to understand, you got to create a plan. Find that thing. Find your purpose. Find that thing that God's put in you. Find your greatness, because God has put seeds of greatness in each and every one of us. But we got to seek it. We got to find it. We got to cultivate that garden, because we know if you don't, weeds will set in. The enemy will tell you that you're not capable. You will get into this situation and you will not fulfill your greatness. Many people say that some of the greatest riches in the world are in Africa, because, you know, there's diamonds and there's jewels, or in Saudi Arabia with oil. I offer this to you. The greatest place where you will find wealth is the cemetery. So you say, Reggie, what do you mean by the cemetery? In the cemetery, you will find treasures that most people don't even give the thought of. You will find great books, movies, talents, gifts that will not... Hey, Cameron Valentine, how are you doing? Haven't seen you since, wow, ever. Thank you for joining us live. But as I was saying, the cemetery is the place that holds the greatest amount of wealth, because unfulfilled dreams, unfulfilled potential, unfulfilled greatness gets buried because we don't step out, we don't find our purpose, and we don't push ourselves to excel. So I want you guys to understand, working a job is great. Having a plan is better. You'll never get wealthy working a job. That's just the fact of the matter. So I had to get out before they put me out. Hey, Clara, how you doing? I had to get out of the working space before they put me out. Guys, gotta forgive me. I just finished working out. That's why I'm sweating like a pig right now. But I just had to share this live right now. And each and every one that's under the sound of my voice, we all have the potential. There's no such thing as job security anymore. There's no such thing of working 40 years, because they call it downsizing. But at any given moment, any of us could get let go from a job just because that company that you worked for. Because the bottom line to everything is profitability. Nobody's in business not to make money. I don't care what your job is. Hey, Fonz, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time, and you need to give me a call. Thanks for joining. But there's no such thing as job security, as I was saying. There's no 40-year, you're going to work 40 years, and they're going to give you a gold watch. You know, that's just it. We're not living in that time anymore. Hey, my cousin Kerry, how you doing? Good to see you. We're just not living in that time anymore. So I'm just imploring you, work your job full time, create your fortune part time, and have a plan. I had to get out before they threw me out. And I was fortunate enough to create some businesses that are far surpassing and exceeding any salary I was making on any job. Okay? So, the last thing I want to share with you guys is I want to talk to you guys about the Virtual Millionaires Club. Now, the Virtual Millionaires Club, the title, don't be misled by the title. The Virtual Millionaires Club is a group, a closed group that we belong to, that we're helping to empower people with ideas just like this. We're helping to teach, through our mentor, Myron Golden, business intelligence, business development. But the thing that's attractive to me, the thing that's most attractive to me is we're doing these things using Bible and biblical principles. Now, this may not be for everybody, but for those who are on here, who are watching now and will catch the rebroadcast, we're sharing this with anyone who wants to change their life, anyone who wants to change the trajectory of where you're going right now. Ana Maria Sanchez, who's on here, is a member of the Virtual Millionaires Club. I'm a member. Those who may watch the rebroadcast, listen, all I can tell you is it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's not just an educational platform, but it is principles that you can adopt and incorporate into your own life, not just in business, but in your family, in your relationships, in your marriage. And it's a total organic thing, and it's so great. And the thing that we love the most about it, that I love the most about it, is it's centered through the word and the principles of God. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please, I'm going to leave a link in the comments. I want you guys to share this video, like this video, reach out to me. And if you want to know more about the Virtual Millionaires Club, please let me know, because we are sharing this. We're building this community. We are sharing this community, and we're going to make a difference, and we're going to make a difference in a great way. And we want you to be a part of it. So as always, I thank you guys for joining. I want you to know, listen, get out before they put you out. Really. You don't want to be surprised all of a sudden because you have so much invested in this job, and then they change, you're not ready, and then you're going to sit and ask yourself, what am I going to do? If I can be of assistance to anybody, and I hope everyone under the sound of my voice, and the ones who are watching the rebroadcast, I hope you guys got some value out of this live today. And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me. You can inbox me on Facebook, or just leave a comment here, and I'll make sure that I get back to you as soon as possible. So I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. Make it the best. Be productive. Make sure you check out the Virtual Millionaires Club. If you want more information, please make a comment below. Like this video, share this video. May God continue to bless you, and I'll talk to you really soon.